And then let's come to sit. For those of you who, if your hips or low back feel tight, feel free to sit up on something, blankets, pillows, whatever. Yeah, we're definitely, the start of the practice that was in my brain, I think covers all of the areas we talked about. I'll probably add a couple things just because that's what everybody's looking for. For those of you that joined me last week, we had probably, I want to say on the scale of our Monday evenings, a lot more or faster movement, just, you know, because Monday was a tough day, or last week was a tough week. And I felt that I needed, in order to put together a practice for you all, to have it be breath focused and movement focused and not spending quite as much time as we have in alignment, which quite frankly was really sweaty. But grounding in maybe a different way. We're going to go back to the way we've been practicing the last couple of weeks, which is definitely a little bit slower pace and spending a little more time focusing on our alignment and what we're feeling, especially since it sounds like everybody's got some tender spots that need attention. So, but still kind of thinking of this, you know, practice as a way to really get into our bodies, connect, feel ourselves on the ground, pull ourselves into the ground, and notice those things that are drawing you away from being able to root in your body and be still and pay attention. So take a moment and set an intention for your practice that's going to help you kind of be here, pay attention, feel what's really going on. And then just close your eyes. Feel how your breath moves your body. As you inhale, you should feel like you're expanding, getting bigger. As you exhale, as that breath comes out, you recede, kind of back to your starting point. Inhale, we open up, we get bigger, we expand. Exhale, let the body recede. In this kind of moment of quiet, of not a lot of direction and action, notice what you feel. If any of those spots that you mentioned, those of you that had a couple of things that needed you to work on, needed attention, kind of notice how they're feeling in the stillness before we start. And then we'll just invite in little bits of movement. So the next time you exhale, drop your chin towards the notch of your throat. Inhale, we're going to roll left ear over towards left shoulder. Exhale, we're going to drop chin towards the notch of the throat. Inhale, right ear towards right shoulder. Exhale, drop chin towards the notch of the throat. Inhale, roll. Exhale, drop. Inhale, ear towards shoulder. Exhale, chin towards the notch of the throat. One more like that. Inhale, ear towards shoulder. Exhale, chin towards the notch of the throat. Inhale, ear towards shoulder. Exhale, chin down. Just pause here. Notice if the shoulders have kind of come forward, you're going to just pull them back in space. Slide your shoulder blades down the back of your body. Inhale, lift your face, look up. Think about lifting the chin more than crunching and shortening the back of the neck. Exhale, chin towards the notch of your throat. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. 2 more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms out nice and wide to the side. Rotate your arms so that your thumbs are pointing towards the ground, your palms point back in space. Take a big deep breath in here. And then exhale, I want you to sweep your arms behind your back. Grab hold of opposite elbows. Elbows drop towards the floor. Crown of the head lifts up. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, let's look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. 1 more each direction. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Whichever way you had your arms lined up, just switch so that the opposite forearm is on top. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. Just look over each shoulder and see if there's a different sensation there. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Back to center. Back to right. Good. Release your arms. Inhale, sweep them over the head. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up to the sky nice and tall. Exhale. Go ahead and round your spine down. Palms come forward. Belly button pulls back in space. Triceps towards the floor. Inhale. Lift the chest. Lengthen the spine. Exhale. Round down. Inhale. Come on up. Exhale. Round down. Good. Inhale. Come up. Exhale, relax your arms so your hands come in front of you and just switch the lineup of your fingers so the opposite index finger is on top. Resend those hands out, lift them back over the head, and then just do a couple little side-to-side movements here. Inhale, really feeling expansion in that side rib. Exhale, back to center, then do the other one. Inhale, kind of open up through here. Try not to collapse into your low back. Just think more about that extension through the side of the torso and through the shoulder. Good, then go ahead and release your hands. Make your way to hands and knees. Knees right underneath the hips. Heels of the hands right under the shoulders. Inhale, tailbone up, belly down, lift your face. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, lift your belly up, look back. Inhale, arch the spine, drop the belly, lift the face. Exhale, tuck that tailbone under, lift the belly up, round down. Curl your toes under here, press your hips back towards your heels, and give a little stretch through the feet. Depending on the shape of your toes, some people, when they go back into this, it's just the big toe that presses into the ground. So feel free to move your heels a little bit out to one side if that helps you get rooting in all of your toes. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press back. Feel like you can root into those toes. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, this time press back, lift the knees, lift the hips. Coming into a downward dog, and let's just do a couple little calf raises. My ankles are cracking like crazy right now. Coming up, lifting your calves, lifting your heels, and then exhale, drive the heels down, and as you drive the heels down, think about lifting the tailbone up. So we're stretching, trying to get calf and hamstring. Do that a couple times, and notice which one you feel more. Do you feel more hamstring? Do you feel more calf? And if one feels significantly more, like it's getting more stretched than the other, play with the bend of your knees, play with the tilt of your pelvis. You might have to really lift that tailbone up to get hamstring. And then go ahead, take a little walk, feet to the top of the mat, coming into a ragdoll. Feet about hips width distance apart, knees bent enough that your belly can rest on your thighs. Drop your head towards the ground and give yourself your head a little shake, yes. And then a little shake, no. Rock your weight front to back a few times. Let's go ahead and walk our hands over to the right, pressing fingertips into the floor. Take a big deep breath, breathe into that left side of the rib cage, maybe all the way down to that left outer low back. And then go ahead and switch your hands over to the other side. Fingertips go left. So now you should feel like you're getting a nice big stretch through the outside of the right hip. Breathe in here. Exhale, come back to center. Soft little bend in the knees. We're going to roll all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms up overhead. Big deep breath in here. And then exhale, fold yourself forward. Palms to the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. Exhale, we're going to step left foot back into a lunge. So right knee right over the ankle. Feel free to use blocks in this if you need to. Pull your right hip back in space, your left hip forward. Notice what this lunge feels like with hands on the ground for extra support. Because we're going to take our hands off the ground and we're going to put them on our hips. Extend the spine. Kind of changed our center of gravity a little bit by standing up. But still think left hip forward, right hip back. Keep your legs where they are. Re-extend your spine like you're going back down to that low lunge, but you're going to keep your hands on your hips. Take a big deep breath in here. Drive through that left heel, maybe a little extra so you can feel the left calf stretch. Left hand down, right hand up, twist. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the ground. Step the right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, just bring your knees to the ground, coming to all fours. We're going to re-extend that left leg. Press through that left heel, get a little calf stretch here. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, press back. Find neutral, so you're halfway between that front and back. Just go ahead and lift your left leg. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Especially if you feel this in your low back. Notice if you're arching a little. Try to find neutral. If it feels okay, right arm's going to extend. That's the opposite arm. Just take 3 breaths here. Feel this space. Hold it. Exhale. Right hand's coming back to the ground. Swing those left toes over. Find the ground kind of to the right. And then press through that left heel. Look over your left shoulder so your upper body's kind of arching around so we get that outer hip stretch. Good, big deep breath in here. Exhale, come back to center. Bring that left knee to the ground. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward dog again. This time we'll just pedal out the knees a little bit so we get opposite leg stretches. Just see how that feels. Notice if the heels can stay in line with the balls of the feet. You know, so you don't want your toes turning out to the side or pigeoned in, but just kind of keep those heels so they're dropping right behind the balls of your feet. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Heels press back, chest reaches forward. Exhale, let's bring the knees to the ground. Uncurl the toes, press the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Just take a big deep breath in here. Feel the belly expand into the thighs. Exhale, let that breath out. Drop towards the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, come forward. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. We're picking the right foot up. And we're going to exhale, bring that right foot all the way up to the top of the mat. So basically the same side lunge that you've already did. Right hip pulls back in space. Left hip pulls forward. We're going to twist again. Right hand goes up. Right hip pulls back. You're going to bend your elbow. Lean your head back into that right hand so we get a nice big stretch through the chest, maybe the shoulder. On your exhale, I want you to think right elbow to right big toe. And then inhale, you open back up. Be careful not to pull with this arm. It's just along for the ride. Exhale, elbow towards toe. Inhale, elbow towards the sky. Keep that left leg stable. Just try to move the upper body. One more lift up. Exhale, hand to the ground. Press into that right foot. You're going to step the left foot forward, top of the mat. Fold. Should feel like a lopsided fold, or probably feels like a lopsided fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain. Should also probably feel like a lopsided mountain. We just did a whole bunch of stuff on that right leg. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. We have to do all of those poses on the opposite side. Right foot goes back. So we've got the left leg lunge. Left leg forward lunge. Left hip pulls back in space, right hip pulls forward. Feel free to use blocks for this. Just see what it takes to be in this space. You've got hands and feet on the floor. Right hip forward, left hip back. Legs are strong. Try not to move the legs. Just lift the torso. Good, see how that feels. Notice if the legs shifted. Bring them back. Lengthen the spine, draw belly to the spine for support, and then just lean. Lean, lean, lean. Press into that right heel. Kind of press it back in space so we get that really big stretch through the right tongue. Chest is coming forward. Then gracefully unwind. Right hand down, left hand up, twist. Left hip pulls back in space. Right hip pulls forward. Take a big deep breath in here. Exhale, hand to the ground, step back, high plank. Breathe here. Exhale, release the knees to the ground. Re-extend the right leg and just get another stretch to that right calf. Press through the heels. Chest is forward. Or chest is open, I should say, even as the hips are going forward. You want to do a couple little bobs front to back to open up those calves and ankles and feet. Go for it. And then we'll pick up the right foot, swing it over to the left, look over your left shoulder, get that nice big stretch through the outer right hip. Back to center. Notice if your low back is arching, find neutral, get long. We're just gonna lift right heel off, or right toes off the ground. Notice if your weight shifts left, try to bring it back to center. If you have the space, the stability, left hand's gonna extend long. 3 breaths here. And then hand down, knee down. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. This time we're gonna exhale, come all the way to the ground, low plank. Uncurl the toes, fingertips line up with the chest. Pull the elbows towards one another. Inhale, just come into a nice sweet little baby cobra. Back of the neck is long. If your low back feels like it's doing a lot of this, use a little more glute. And maybe pull your belly button towards your spine so your back is supported. Exhale, downward dog. Pedal out the knees a little bit. We're doing left foot forward again. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, bring it up to the top of the mat. Left hip pulls back in space, right hip pulls forward. Right hand down, left hand up. Bend the left elbow, hand to the back of the head. Lean the head into the hands. We get that extra shoulder work. Keep that left hip pulling back and the right hip forward and up. As you exhale, left elbow to big toe. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, go down. Inhale, lift up. What do you think? Can we do this about 5 or 6 times on the other side? I think that's probably reasonable. Unmute and yell at me if I can't count. Up and down. Inhale up. Exhale, go down. Last time, go up and lift that left arm up. Exhale, hand to the ground. Back foot forward, fold. This should feel a little more symmetric. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. One more time, you're gonna walk your hands to either side. Let's start left. Walk your hands to the left, pull your right hip back in space. Take a big deep breath into the right side of the body. And then as you exhale, walk the hands right. Press them into the floor, pull that left hip back in space. Big deep breath, breathe into the left side of the body.
And then go ahead, exhale, come back to center. Inhale, you're rolling all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands on the floor or the shins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we're gonna go left foot back again in space. So pull that right hip back, the left hip forward. Feel strong in the legs. Legs aren't moving. You're just gonna lift your upper body. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bring those hands behind the back, grab hold of opposite elbows. Do left forearm on top of right forearm. Pull that left hip forward. Collarbones are open. Take a nice big deep breath in here. And then we're just gonna exhale, fold forward. Torso just kind of hangs out right on the top of that right thigh. Drop the top of your head towards the ground. Pull your elbows back in space. Pull that left heel back in space. Breathe here. Inhale, come up. Keep your arms where they are. And I just want you to hop this left foot forward about a half a footprint and bring your left heel to the ground. So we had some calf requests. The further your left toes go out to the side, the less stretch that will be on your calf. So if you want to turn that and have your left toes point straight ahead, it's harder to balance and more calf stretch. Big deep breath in, and you're going to exhale, fold over this right leg. Right hip pulls back in space, chest reaches forward. Back of the neck is nice and long, coming into a pyramid pose without arms. Inhale. Exhale, let's give ourselves some arms. Bring your hands to the ground or blocks. Right hip pulls back in space, left hip pulls forward, collarbones are wide. From here, we're gonna walk our hands over to the right. If your hands are on blocks, walk your hand blocks over to the right. And so we're just changing the upper body. And that's probably gonna change where you feel that stretch on the lower body. It might even add some back stretch. Breath in here. Exhale, we're gonna walk our hands or our hand blocks back to the center. Lengthen the spine. If you've got space, maybe lift those right toes up off the ground. Exhale, put them back down. Rebend that front knee. Shift the left foot back into the original shape, that lunge. Heel toe the right foot out to the side. So we're kind of in our lizard lunge now. Giving you the side view. Right knee hugs the right shoulder. Good, take a big deep breath in here. Exhale, put that left knee down. Right hand on the right thigh, another little twist, look over the right shoulder. Right hip is pulling back as the right knee is pulling forward. Come back to center. Turn those right toes out to the side. Let the right knee fall away. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, come back to center. Hands to the ground. I'm swiveling back around. Right foot comes to meet the left. Inhale here. Exhale, let's do knees down. Keep your toes on the floor. Lift your chest. Your choice. You're either going all the way to the ground or just halfway to the ground. Modified chaturanga. And then press the tops of the feet into the floor. Lift up, upward dog. If this bothers your low back, stay in cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All of those on the other side. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, bring it forward. We're coming up into that high lunge. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Collarbones are wide and open. Arms come out to the side. Thumbs point to the ground. You're gonna bring hands behind your back. Right forearm on top of left forearm. Pull that right hip forward. Kind of use your forearms. Push your back into your arms and feel like you're really active and long in that upper body. So that when you exhale, fold forward, it's not like you're collapsing. You're just changing the relation of your upper body to your lower body. So you're a little more stable. If you want that extra calf stretch, you can press back into your right heel. Pull your right elbows back. Breathe. Inhale, come up. Keep the arms. We're going to do that graceful little hop. Right foot's coming forward, about a footprint. Left leg straightens. Hips square to the top of the mat. Again, change where the position is of that back foot if you want a little extra calf stretch. And then we're going to slowly lower over that front leg. Left hip pulls back in space. Right hip pulls forward. Upper body is active, trying to stay long. Lower body is active, trying to stay stable. Left hip pulls back. One more breath like this. Then you're going to drop your hands. Hands are either coming to the floor or the block. If you don't have blocks or a floor, maybe a table, chair, resting on top of your iPad. Breathe in. Walk your hands left on the floor or on the blocks. Breathe deeply into that outside line, maybe right low back into right hip. Good, then you're going to come back. We're going to hop that right foot back. And then you're going to come into that lizard lunge, bringing your hands inside the left knee. Left knee hugs into the left shoulder. Extend your spine. Lift your chest. Good, taking a little twist here. Hand on the knee. Back knee can always go down in any of these. And then we kind of open up a little bit. So those left toes go out to the side. The left knee moves away. Good, breathe in. Exhale, come back to center, hands to the floor. Left leg's going all the way back. Nice big plank. Knees down or knees up. Exhale, halfway or all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward dog or small cobra. Exhale, back, downward dog. This time we're gonna walk the hands back to the feet. Come into your forward fold at the back end of the mat. Little soft bend in the knees. Take a nice big deep breath in here through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands, mountain. Taking a pause here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Bring hands onto the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. This time, just bring your hands to the floor. And I want you to take teeny tiny little hand steps. Try to get as much of your hand on the floor as you walk your way out to a downward dog. And then once you think you're in downward dog position, inhale forward, come to a high plank. And then check out your high plank. Are your shoulders over your wrists? Can you press your heels back in space, reach your chest forward? Great. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Just kind of checking if it feels the same from both sides. Let's do left leg first this time. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring that left foot all the way forward. Left heel plants down. Left hip pulls back. Have a nice long spine. Come up to stand, catch your hips. Collarbones are wide. You can do the same arm position where you're grabbing opposite elbows. You would do right hand on top. Or if you'd like, interlace your fingers and draw your knuckles down towards the back of that right leg. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, lean forward. Right heel presses back. Chest reaches forward. Totally forgot where, oh no, I know where we're going. Push into that left foot. You're gonna come forward into a warrior three. Right hip drops down. Right heel lifts up, collarbones wide. Come forward. You're coming up to stand. Bring that right knee with you. As you can see, wobbling is part of the program. Right knee's gonna swim open to the side. Pull it back to center. Exhale, step way back. Maybe pause in that warrior three, then find the ground. Open up, warrior two. So your left knee's bending, it's right over your left ankle. You still have your arms behind your back, whether you're holding elbows or you have long hands. Collarbones are wide. Exhale, we're gonna straighten that left leg. So we're gonna come into triangle pose without the hands. See how that feels. If your back feels tight when you do this, spread out your feet a little bit left to right. And everybody's gonna try to roll that right shoulder up and back, and then look down and get a stretch through the right side of the neck. And take a big deep breath in here. Push into the floor, come on up to stand. Left toes turn to face the same direction as the right toes. Forward fold. Press your hands into the ground, whether they're forward or back, whatever makes sense in your body. Little more weight towards the hands. Rock weight towards the balls of the foot. Inhale. Push into the floor, lift your chest. Turn those left toes back to the top of the mat. Walk your hands. Refine your lunge. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Good. If you're liking those kind of arms behind the back for more chest opening, keep doing that. Or don't do it and just keep your arms up overhead. We're gonna do the exact same poses. Big deep breath in here. Exhale, lean forward. How long can you get? Back heel through that right hip, through the shoulders, through the fingertips. Gracefully launch yourself into that warrior three. Right heel goes up, right hip goes down. Come up to stand, bring that right knee with you. Exhale, open that right knee out to the side. Open your arms out to the side, find prayer hands. Tree pose. That was some really nice transitions over here, I'm seeing. Okay, right knee's coming back. Exhale, step back. Open up, warrior two with arms. Triangle with arms, left leg straightens, lean forward and down. Right arm's gonna start up, and then take your palm, spin it towards the top of your mat and reach, and maybe let your triangle get a little more of a rounded shape, less angular, and see if that's like a nice way to open up that right low back, side back. I like to do a little arm circle here, and that kind of pulls on that line. So if you're feeling tight there, maybe play with that position of your arm. Good. And then walk your hands back to center. Turn your left toes back to face the same direction of your right toes, and have this forward fold be kind of like a rag doll. You can move a little bit side to side. Rock weight front to back. Shake your head, make sure you're not holding tension in your neck. Walk your hands back up to the top of your mat. Don't worry, we're not doing the same poses a third time. Step back, downward dog, your choice. Stay here, child's pose, downward dog, vinyasa. We'll all meet in downward dog. I'm gonna spin myself around so I can see where you all are. And we'll do the other side. Right leg lifts up. Exhale, bring it forward. Good. From here, left hip pulls back in space, right hip pulls forward. We get those nice strong legs. We're gonna come up. So if you're doing opposite elbows, you're gonna do left elbow on top. Or you're maybe interlacing your fingers. If you're interlacing, switch the lineup of your fingers so it's the way that feels like you're holding hands with somebody else. Collarbones wide, chest is open. So we're just starting by this lean. Push that left heel back in space, feel that calf open. Draw your belly button towards your spine to support your back. Back of the neck is really long. Lean into that right foot. Float the left leg up. Left toes point straight down to the ground as the heel lifts. Try not to lock out that right knee and try to breathe soft, even breaths. From here, we're gonna slowly bend that front knee, float back, open up warrior two legs. So right knee is right over the right ankle, spine is nice and long. Then exhale, straighten that right leg. Lean with the right shoulder. Try to stay as long as you can through the torso. Left shoulder's kind of rolling back. Next stretch is chin drops towards the chin drops towards that right shoulder as you're pulling the left hand back in space. Inhale, come up. Right toes turn to face the left. Forward fold. We're doing 4 different forward folds here. So this one you're gonna hold outside of the legs as you go down. Top of the head towards the floor. Weight towards the balls of the feet, but your hands are holding onto your legs or somewhere kind of below the knee. I want you to use the strength of your arms, pull your elbows out to the side, and really drop into this. 3 breaths. And then go ahead and lengthen your spine. Walk your hands back to the right foot. So you're coming back into that lunge. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Nice long spine. Strong legs come up. Elbows, prayer hands, or arms up overhead. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Lean. Left heel presses back, chest reaches forward. Find those abdominals to stabilize, to work instead of the back, and then shift up into that warrior 3. Left heel lifts, left hip drops. Breathe. Did we forget to do the balance on the other side? We're gonna do 2. Come up, sorry everyone. Left knee up, open it out to the side. Bring it back to center. Shift back. Do your bind. Grab your elbows or reverse prayer. We'll do that one. Lean into the right leg. Come up to warrior 3. Shift up, bring that knee with you. Then find tree. Knee goes out to the side. Sole of the foot together. Prayer hands. Soft face. Soft shoulders. Left knee comes forward. Exhale, step back. Find the ground. Open up warrior 2. You've got all your arms here. You're gonna straighten that right leg. Get really big here. Lean right hand over the right foot, then bring it down. Left arm going up. And then you're playing with the position of that left arm. And seeing if you can get some pull through this side, maybe through the back, just kind of rocking it around. It doesn't have to be a circle. It can be any kind of little weird motion you want. Maybe imagine somebody just pulling you this way. And then inhale, come up. Right toes turn to face the same direction as left toes. So this time you're gonna go, I'm gonna give you the side view. You're going into your forward fold with wide knees. Notice where your hips are. You wanna bring them forward so they line up with your heels. And then you're walking your hands as far forward as you can get them. Maybe they're on the floor, maybe under a block, or grabbing a piece of furniture. Hips back, chest down towards the ground. 3 easy breaths here. And then go ahead and walk your hands back to the top of your mat. Step back, high plank. Heels press back, chest reaches forward. Your choice. Plank, child's pose, or you can move through that vinyasa. Lower, lift, press back. Let's all take a child's pose for a moment. Head towards the floor, heels towards the hips. Good, big deep breath in here. And then exhale, I want you to walk your hands over to the right. Take a big deep breath into that left side of the torso. And then walk your hands through center, over to the left, so you're breathing into the right side of the torso. And then go ahead back to center. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. Roll yourself up to stand. So just a little bit of balance, and since we've got so many different things going on for different people, I'm gonna give you about 5 different options before we start. So if you're having a hard time with balance and you just wanna get a deeper stretch, find a wall, and you're gonna kind of move your setup back so you kind of put your butt on your wall. Those of you that were saying like feet and ankle things, you see how I don't know if you can see, I rolled my mat up a couple times, so I've got a little lip, like a little speed bump. My heels are on the floor and my toes are on, you know, a couple thicknesses of my mat. Let me turn that this way. I know I said 5 different modifications. That's it. You're either using the wall or you're using this. All right? So, or you can be flat on the ground. We're gonna stand, left foot on the floor, pick your right knee up. Ribs are right over your pelvis, collarbones are wide. Want more shoulder, hands behind the back, get opposite elbows or that kind of interlaced fingers. We're gonna take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. Good, it's very hard to balance if you're on that little ramp, but I want you to spread weight across your left foot, the ball of the left foot, and then push your hips back. If you're doing this for more stretch and less balance, as you push your hips back, they're gonna hit the wall, and just pretend that you're sitting on a chair on the wall. Chest is open, collarbones are wide. How far could you fold over, oops, without falling? Clearly that's my limit. Heart, oh my gosh, I'm a mess today. Heart towards that shin and fold. And then you're gonna get to a space where you probably can't go anymore. You might be using your fingers. I might have Stephanie edit a lot of this out before we redo this tape. Hands to the ground or hands to that shin, and just take a couple breaths here. Notice if the standing foot is really kind of tensing up. Try to just spread weight across the ball of the feet, the heel, and try not to crunch up the toes. And then go ahead, come up, and just put your foot on the floor. Lift up that left foot, roll the ankle up. One direction, and then the other. And then put it back on the floor, and just see what it feels like to stand. Take a couple rocks, front to back. And then we're gonna do the other one. So, standing on the right foot, it may be on its little ledge, it might be flat on the floor. Pick up your left knee, cross the left ankle over right knee. Spread weight all the way across the ball of the foot. I'm gonna warn you in advance, this side's probably gonna be worse than the other. Hips back, chest forward. I say that because I know I have a really weak ankle on this right side, so kind of notice how your stability is different and why it feels different one side to the other. And if you might need the wall for one side, but you don't need the wall for the other side. Oh yeah, you might be doing this with arms behind your back. And you're just trying to fold without falling. Oh, these look good. Looking at what I'm seeing in the screen, this is the one where, I picked the one where I'm showing my own great grasp on humility while you all seem to be nailing this. This looks actually easy on the panoramic view. Go wherever you're going. Butt back, chest down. And then slowly, gracefully, with control, come back up. Pick up that left knee. Bring it down to the floor. Stand on the left leg, pick the right leg up, roll that ankle, both directions, and then stand and just rock a little bit. Front to back, noticing if this is more foot or calf, hip. Good. If your yoga mat was rolled up, unroll it. If you were on the wall, come back to where you started. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Hands are on the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Hands to the ground. Step back, high plank. Good, take a big deep breath in this high plank. And then exhale, we're gonna come all the way to the floor. Make a little pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on your hands. And just bend your knees. Sometimes this is called crocodile pose. And just rock your feet a little bit side to side. And then go ahead, put your feet back onto the ground. Come into Sphinx pose. Elbows right underneath the shoulders. Pull those collarbones wide. Shoulder blades down the back of the body. Nice big deep breath in here. Coming into a Sphinx pose. Turn a little. We're gonna take our, in this Sphinx pose, left hand a little closer to right, bend the right knee, and you're just gonna see about catching somewhere on the right leg, foot, ankle. Right hip drops towards the ground. Your foot feels far away. Maybe it's your pant. Other than our lunges, we have not done a ton of opening for the front of the hip, so take it easy on this one. And then go ahead, release. Come back to your Sphinx. Elbows, hands, press into the ground. Collarbones are wide. See how this feels. Pausing in between sides. And then right hand goes over towards left wrist. Bend that left leg. Catch it. Left knee hugs into the right knee. Left hip drops down towards the floor. Extend the spine up nice and tall. And you can kind of play with whatever grip you're doing on this leg. If this feels funny on the knee, let that foot out a little bit and really work to hold the knee in towards center. Good, breath in. Exhale, go ahead, release. Come back to your Sphinx. Elbows on the ground, collarbones wide, maybe close your eyes, take a big deep breath in. Can you draw your shoulders back? Extend through the back of the neck, get really long here. And then drop your chin towards the notch of your throat. Take a little wiggle from side to side. And then we're gonna come back to our crocodile. Make a little pillow with your hands, rest your forehead. Lift your toes, rock them side to side. For this next one, some of you for like neck support, you might want to put a pillow or a blanket or something underneath your forehead. We're going to go left arm out to the side, right hand on the ground. Look to the right. You're resting the left side of your head on the floor. You're going to push into the floor, pick your right leg up, sweep it back behind you. So you're trying to get that right toe to the floor, but if this bothers your back, kind of stretch that leg out long. Get your right toe to the floor as far away from your hip as you can go. And then we're just gonna rock from side to side. Exhale is come to center. Inhale is to swing that leg way back. Exhale, center. Inhale, swing that leg way back. One more time, come forward. Roll open. You're trying to relax the head. If it feels okay, right hand's going up, and you're gonna bring it behind your back. Some of you might be able to hold hands with yourself. Others kind of, you can bend the elbow and put your hand behind your back. And just leave that hand up. 2 more breaths. And then roll back.
Right arm's going out to the side, left elbow bends. Find a comfortable position for the neck. You're looking left. Inhale, pick up that left leg. Exhale, send it back. One side might feel different from the other, so make sure where that toe is landing or intending to land doesn't crunch up the low spine too much. We're using it to kind of stretch out the front and side of the hips without kind of landing in the back. Do a couple more of those. Next time you go open, you can stay open. Left arm might come up, can drop behind you, can turn and press into your low back. Just leave it up. Back to center. Bring your hands next to your shoulders. Press yourself up to sit. Take a moment, just take a child's pose, stretch out the low back after doing those, I don't even know what they're called. We'll think of the name for them. Good. And then you're gonna come up to sit. Just like we did when we were balancing. We're doing right ankle over that left knee and sitting up really tall. So a nice big outer hip stretch. Flexing that ankle, lifting the chest. For some of you, this might be plenty of that outer hip stretch. Actually, if this is too much, do this on the floor with your left foot on the wall. If your hips have a little more space, you can walk that left foot over to the right and do, this gets a lot of different names, like a double pigeon or a stacked pigeon, and possibly lean forward. You know, the tighter your hips are, the better it is to be on the back. But if you know your hips have the space, come to this version and fold forward. And then you're going to come up, put both feet on the ground, and just switch. Left ankle over right knee. Chest is open, collarbones are wide. One side could feel different, so you might need to go onto your back, put that foot on something. Stay here. Or right foot moves left. You stack those. You're really trying to get the left knee to go right over the right ankle. And vice versa. Sit up tall and lean forward. And then come up. Uncross the legs. Put both feet on the ground. Hands on the ground behind the hips. Draw your shoulders back in space. Collarbones open wide. Press into the ground. Lift your hips up. Reverse tabletop. Keep your chin coming forward so you can see the front of you. You want to try to lift your hips up so they're in line with your shoulders. A very weird shirt on today for a video, so you probably can't see what's going on. I'm trying to really use my butt and my hips so that I get as flat as possible on the front and the back. And then go ahead, come down. Feet together, knees wide, and fold. Keeping your feet touching and centered. Again, maybe we'll just kind of walk the hands over to the right so we get a little extra stretch through that left low back. Maybe even looking right intensifies that. And then walk your hands left. Do the exact same thing. Kind of walk them out on that angle. Open up through the right. Possibly turn left. Back to center.
Come on up. Pick up those knees. Roll yourself down onto the ground. And let's do the exact same shape. Feet together, knees out, or the same lower body shape. Coming back into that bound angle, but just letting your upper body relax on the floor. You can do palms out to the side, facing up, or rest your palms down onto the low belly. We're just going to take about 10 slow, even breaths here. Noticing with that inhale, the body expands and opens up. As you exhale, you recede back to that starting point. From here, you're going to pick your knees up. You're going to extend one leg, then the other. Feet at least hips width distance apart. Get them long, kind of press through the heels, then relax the legs. Arms fall open. Take a last survey of your body. Noticing sensation, noticing feeling. Take a moment to reflect on that intention. Spend a couple breaths as if to recharge that intention for a moment. Invite a little movement into your bodies. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rolling wrists and ankles. Draw your knees into your chest. Just take a moment here. Hug the knees in. Take a big deep breath. Feel like the back of your body can expand and open up against the floor. And then go ahead and roll over to one side. Slowly shift yourself up to sit. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head. And we'll end here. Namaste.